Hey there guys and ghouls, my geometry cats. Today we are going to be looking at 5.3a, the triangle inequality theorem. Wow. What we're going to look at is what triangles can exist and what cannot. Tomorrow in class or next time we see each other, remind me to show you a video about why this works and we can put it together. So what is the triangle inequality theorem? Well, it states a triangle exists if the two smaller sides sum is greater than the third side. Than, not then. So if I add up the two smaller sides of the triangle, it has to be greater than, bigger than the third side. All right? So like if we look down here at number 1, can this be a triangle? Prove it with an inequality. So to prove it, I'm going to find my two smaller sides, which on number 1 are 8 and 17. So I'm going to do 8 plus 17, and I'm going to see if that's bigger than my third side, which is 24. Well, 8 plus 17 is 25, and 25 is bigger than 24, so yes, this could be a triangle. All right. Unlike if we look at number 2, I find my two smaller sides, I add them up, and I see if it's bigger than my third, my longest side. 3 plus 3 is 6. Is 6 bigger than 7? No, that's a dirty, rotten liar. It cannot exist as a triangle. Again, I'm going to show you why. Tomorrow in class, we'll do an activity with it. This is kind of like an intro. All right, let's take a look at like 5. Why not? Let's take a look at 5. So in 5, I take my two smaller sides, which aren't next to each other. So I'm going to do 22 plus 28, my two smaller sides, and I'm going to see if that's bigger than my third side. Well, 22 plus 28 is 50. Now, a lot of people will say yes on that one, but is 50 bigger than 50? No, it's not. They're equal. So if it's not greater than, it's a no. That's a no. All right. So let's take a look at number 6 then, just why not? I take my two smaller sides and I add them up. And I see if it's bigger than my third side. 6 plus 14 is 20. Is 20 bigger than 18? Yep. So that's yes, that can be a triangle. All right. Woo-wee! Now let's find the range of values that would work to find the third side of a triangle. So we're finding what range will work for the third side of a triangle. Now we know when we add these together, it has to be bigger than my third side, right? I also know if I make up the third, like you have to think about it this way. Maybe I'm making a triangle where that's 14 and that's 22, and then the big side is what I'm missing. Or maybe I'm trying to make a triangle where that's x and that's 14 and that's 22. So I'm finding a little side. So we're finding what range will work between that little side and that big side. All right. Now, there's a really easy way to do this. Okay. Let's say x is my side I'm missing. All you do is you find the difference and you find the sum. And you put x in between them. So x is in between when we subtract them and when we add them. So like 22 minus 14 is 8. So x has to be bigger than 8. 22 plus 14 is 36. So x has to be less than 36. So you add them and you subtract them, and x has to be in the middle of those two numbers. Like, look at number 11. I'm going to do 11 minus 3 it's 8 again. So x has to be greater than 8. And then I'm going to add them, get 14. So x has to be in between 8 and 14. It can't equal 8, can't equal 14. But it has to be in between them. Alright? Alright, let's see one more. Look at 13. So I subtract them, right? 24 minus 7 is 17. X has to be greater than 17. Then I add them. 24 plus 7 is 31. Boom. Subtract them for the lower number, add them for the bigger number. Subtract them for the lower number, add them for the bigger number. Okay. Okay. Alright. Now let's take a look at this. We'll look at 15. One like 15. Let's do it. So to find my range, I'm going to subtract them. And 27 minus 15 is 12. I'm going to add them. 27 plus 15 is 42. So now when I do this, I'm going to check off all the numbers that are bigger than 12 and less than 42. So like, is 34 bigger than 12, less than 42? Yep. Is 12 bigger than 12? No. Is 29 bigger than 12 and less than 42? Yes. Is 18 bigger than 12, less than 42? Yes. 43 is bigger than 42. So that's a no dice. That's a no bueno. Okay? Okay. Alright, one more thing to talk about. We'll finish the rest in class. So, if we are looking at one triangle and we know the sides, we actually know the size of each angle relative to each other. The hinge theorem my boy talked about. The bigger the opposite side, the bigger the angle, right? You can see what I'm doing with my hands right now. So, the smallest angle is always opposite the smallest side. Right? So like, if I look at this picture, my smallest side is 7. What angle's looking at 7 on the opposite side? A is. So A is going to be my little angle. My little guy, my little angle. The largest angle is always opposite the largest side. Right? So if I look over here, my largest side is 13. So my largest angle is B. That's my big guy. My big angle. Hey, I'm big angle B. Alright. So if I were to angle these orders, order these angles from least to greatest, my smallest was A, right? It's opposite my smallest side. Then C, my biggest is going to be B. So big old Bubba B angle is going to go over here. So C is in the middle, right? 10's in between 7 and 13. So angle C is in between A and B. All right. So let's take a look at 17. So in 17, we want to angle these from least to greatest. So first thing I gotta find is what's my smallest side. 17 is my smallest side. M is my angle that's looking at it. Okay, so M is opposite my small side. So angle M is going to be my smallest angle. Okay. And what's my next smallest side? Well, 20 is, right? 20 is opposite angle P. And last, like, my biggest side is N. Or I should say it's over here, and N is opposite it. Alright, so it goes M, P, N. Now, I do declare, what happens if I go from biggest to smallest? Well, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to start with the biggest, though. So when I order my angles from biggest to smallest, I'm going to start with my biggest side. 11 is my biggest side, and it's opposite, then, my biggest angle. All right. Next up, I'd go to my next biggest side, which is 9. 9 is opposite angle B. And lastly, I would do my smallest angle, because I'm starting at the greatest. That's opposite angle D. All right. Hope you all learned something today. We'll finish the rest of this in class. Enjoy.